Sometimes I wonder if I'm dreaming, or maybe caught up in a trance. Don't even recognize.
This stretch will be completed on the floor. Now, the only equipment that you will need is either a foam roller or half a foam roller. If you don't have those, you can just get a towel and roll it up. That's what I'm going to be using today. So all of these exercises are focused on spinal mobility and just getting a nice stretch right through our spine, particularly through our mid-back, which can often get really tight, okay? So the first thing we're going to start with is on all fours. If you find it uncomfortable to kneel, just place a few pillows underneath your knees. So on all fours, we need to make sure that our knees are sitting directly under our hips and our wrists are directly under our shoulders. We want to try and avoid this type of position, okay? So using a mirror in front of you if you need to. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we do that, we're going to arch our spine, stick our bottom up into the air and look ahead. Okay, so this one here is about getting as much movement through our body as possible, okay? And being really body aware, okay? So as we breathe out, we're then going to imagine someone's pulling us up from our shirt and we're hunching, tucking our chin. Okay, so let's try that a few times. Inhale, let's look ahead, curve through the spine. Exhale, let's hunch our spine, tuck our chin. Inhale, let's push our chest to the floor, stick our bottom up into the air, curve the spine and look ahead. Exhale, tuck the bottom, hunching the spine, chin towards chest. And let's continue with this. We're going to do a few more rounds. Inhale and exhale. The slower the better. And we're aiming for movement and mobility with these exercises. So we'll do a few more. Making sure when we're doing this exercise, we're only moving with our breath. From there, we're going to come back into a neutral position. Okay, so we've got a nice natural curve through our spine. Our head is going to be looking down and we're keeping our wrists directly under our shoulders and our knees directly under our hips. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take our right arm up into the air, take a big deep breath in, twist as best as we can, and then as we exhale, we're going to weave our hand between our opposite hand and our knee, and we're going to let our head rest on the floor. Now, if that's too uncomfortable, grab a towel or a pillow and let your head rest, okay? Our bottom arm is nice and relaxed. Our bottom is sticking up to the ceiling and we're getting a nice rotation stretch right through our mid-back. We're going to hold this for a few seconds here and then we're going to repeat. So we're going to slowly come back out of that stretch. Okay, adjusting the pillow if you need to. All right, resetting. We're now going to go with the opposite side. So taking a deep breath in, rotating up as best as we can, and exhale, let's weave that hand through. Relax our head and the arm on the floor, sticking our bottom up into the air. Now this is a little more of an advanced stretch, okay, so just do what you can do with this. Everyone's mobility and flexibility is different, so just do what suits you for the time being, and you will notice slow improvements. Focusing on relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the breath, and coming back out of that stretch. We are going to do that once more on each side, so just resetting. Okay, lifting up the right arm, inhale, exhale, let's weave through. And relax. Remembering you can place the pillow under your head if you need to. Coming back. And let's repeat once more on the other side. Inhale. Exhale, weaving through. And relaxing the body. And slowly coming back up. The next stretch we're going to be doing is what we call child's pose, a yoga pose. So, knees out nice and wide on our mat, feet stay together. What we're going to do first is bring our bottom towards our heels, and it's really important that that's our first motion. Then what we're going to be doing is bringing our arms out and reaching them as far forward as we can, placing our head on the mat. Again, if you need to place a pillow or something in front of you to support your head, that's absolutely fine. So this is an active stretch. What we're doing is we're actively reaching out in front of us. Our fingers are stretched nice and wide, and we're getting a nice stretch right along the spine. You might be feeling a nice stretch in your inner groin as well. If that's too uncomfortable, you can bring your knees together. Now we're just going to hold this for about 30 seconds. This one here, you can actually hold for a few minutes if you feel comfortable too. But today we're just going to hold for 30 seconds. Making sure in this position, we're not holding our breath. Making sure we're still reaching out in front. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now remember, we're slowly coming back up, making sure our blood pressure catches up with us before we go into the next stretch. Now, the next one, we're going to be doing a similar motion, except this time, we're not going to be bringing our bottom back, okay? So our bottom is going to stay directly above our knees. And what we're going to do is we're going to reach our arms out as far as we can, and we're going to push our chest towards the floor. Now remembering, if you need something to support your head, you might even need a couple of pillows with this one, you can use that. So bottom stays above our knees. We're getting a nice stretch right through our mid-back.
Not thinking about what brings me.
We're going to hold this here for 30 seconds. Once again, focusing on our breath, reaching our hands out as far as we can, sticking our bottom up into the air.
Just fine, one foot in another, floating, enjoying my freedom, singing off key.
Nice deep breathing with this one.
When I'm under the sun,
a little bit longer.
I'm under the sun.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Remembering, we're going to slowly come out of this stretch, slowly lifting our head. Okay, we can get rid of our headrest for now. We're going to be laying onto our stomach for the next stretch. Okay, so in a comfortable position, you might even feel a little bit more comfortable on your bed. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to have our hands nice and close to our chest. Okay, elbows in, nice and close. We don't want our elbows out too wide. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to slowly use our hands to push the top half of our chest up off the floor. Now it's really important that we squeeze our shoulder blades together and we squeeze our bottom. If you find you're getting any sort of pinching or sharp pain through your lower spine, just leave this one for now, okay? Making sure you are squeezing your glutes. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in together. As we breathe out, let's slowly push the chest up off the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the bottom, and slowly rolling back down. Let's go again. Deep breath in. As we breathe out. And relax. Let's go again. Slowly raising, squeezing the shoulder blades. Now, if you're comfortable doing that, you can stay with that. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable, we can raise up a little bit higher. Again, making sure we're squeezing through our glutes, our bottom muscles, and slowly coming back down. So this is an extension type movement. We're just going to slowly roll through this together. And it's really important to let our back come into extension in a nice, gentle way. We spend a lot of our life with our shoulders rounded. So this is just the opposite type of motion or movement. But just do what suits you. Any type of pain, I want you to stop instantly. Let's do one more together, deciding how far you feel comfortable to come up. The next range of exercises, we're going to be using either our foam roller or our rolled up towel. Make sure if you need to as well, you've got something like a pillow or something soft to support your head as well, okay? So what we're going to be doing, having the roller or the towel in the middle of the mat, we're going to place our bottom on the roller and our back. And again, remembering if you need something underneath your head, just place that there, okay? We're going to do what's called an IYT motion, okay? So knees stay bent, we're nice and balanced. We're going to make our body into the shape of an I. So arms are going to come directly up. Okay, now this will require a bit of shoulder mobility, so just make sure you're not pushing through any type of pain. So we're going to go from an I to a Y position and then to a T position. Now the idea of this is to keep the backs of your hands as close as you can to the floor, okay? So let's go back into our I. Let's go into our Y and into our T, holding that there. We're going to do 2 more rounds of each. So going into our Y, letting the backs of our hands as close as we can to the floor. Y and T. Good. Last one. I, Y and T. Now for a progression, we can place our hands into a W position. Now again, the idea is to get the back of our hands onto the floor, okay? If not, you might find that you're up here, and that's okay for this one. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly rise up and back into our W position. Okay, we're just going to do about 5 repetitions of this. So coming up, straight back into our I position, and then back into a W position. We're going to an I, and we're going into a W. Feeling a nice stretch along our mid-spine as we do this. I and W, making sure we're not holding our breath. Let's do one more together. So we're going I and W. Good. We're going to slowly roll over to our left side. We can take our foam roller away, but if you would like to have a pillow or your foam roller under your head, please feel free to. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have our knees bent, okay, our hips stacked on top of one another, and our arms out straight in front. Okay, now you might recognise this exercise. We did do a similar version against the wall. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, I'm going to take my top arm across to the floor behind me as far as I can go. You might find that that's far enough. Hold for a second and then slowly bringing it back. Noticing how my knees don't lift up off of the floor. Okay, so exhale, let's rotate. My eyes are watching and tracking my hand. I'm going as far as I comfortably can before those knees start to come off the ground, and then coming back. Good, let's do a few more. Exhale as we rotate. Going as far over as you can. Inhale, bringing it back. Good, let's do one more. Exhale. Getting that nice rotation movement and stretch through our thoracic region of our spine. Really important area. We're going to be changing sides, so rolling over to face the other way. Arms directly out in front, knees bent, hips stacked on top of one another. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. As we breathe out, let's rotate to the floor behind us. Slowly coming back. Now, if this is too much for the shoulder, you can always have a bent arm and just simply roll out and back in, keeping that arm nice and close to the body. Good, rotating. Now, a little way to increase this stretch, if you feel that you want to, is you can actually go a little bit past your bottom hand. Okay, so reaching forward, just increasing that rotation, just that range of motion. And rotating. Good, coming back. Let's do one more together. Focusing on our breath here. Deep breath out. As we rotate, letting our hand fall to the floor if we can. And back. Good. We're going to roll over onto our back now. And our knees are going to be bent, our head is supported, okay? And our feet about hip width apart. What we're going to be doing is we're just going to slowly roll our knees from side to side. If you feel more comfortable bringing your feet together, that's absolutely fine. And what I recommend as well is taking the arms out nice and wide. Now, this stretch here can be done with the foam roller underneath your spine as a progression if you want to add in that extra stretch through your mid-back. Now, the heels and the feet can come off of the floor with this one, and we're rotating as far as we feel comfortable to through our lower spine. So just giving our lower back a nice massage. Good. With this one, just making sure we're maintaining a nice steady flow of breath. We're not holding our breath. Good, keep going with me. A few more to each side. Our upper body is nice and relaxed. Closing your eyes if you need to. Just rolling from side to side with our knees. Let's bring those feet back to center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one leg out at a time. Okay, so we're going to roll our knee out towards the floor, keeping our opposite leg where it was, and then slowly bringing it back in, okay? So rolling the knee, letting it fall out to the floor, and bringing it back in. Making sure as we're doing this, we're pulling up our imaginary zipper. We've got our core engaged just slightly so that we can still maintain a nice controlled breath. We're just bracing just slightly and coming back up. Good, let's do one more each side, getting a nice little stretch through our inner groin area. And the other side. Good. You might find that it's quite comfortable to just lay here for a few minutes and just focus on your nice diaphragm breathing. What I mean by that is you can place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in, making sure that our stomach is rising and falling. If you find that your chest is rising and falling, it means you're taking short, shallow breaths. I want nice, deep diaphragm breaths. And you might just do this for 5 or so minutes, just to let the body relax if that feels good for you. So that was our floor stretch. Stay tuned for some balance exercises.